I've had the Hilton Surpass for multiple years, and it's no secret that I love Hilton Credit Cards, since Hilton Points have been what has allowed me to stay at an all-inclusive resort completely for free during my honeymoon. And in addition to that, I've specifically used my Hilton Surpass in order to earn a free night certificate that I used at the Waldorf Astoria Cancun. And the automatic Hilton Gold status that I got on my Hilton Surpass allowed us to get upgraded to a swim-up suite room. But despite all of the value that I've gotten with the Hilton Surpass over the past couple years, I've officially reached a breaking point with the Hilton Surpass, and so I've decided to downgrade it. So in this video, I'm going to go over my 2-year review of the Hilton Surpass, which will include the good and the bad, as well as my rationale for why I decided to downgrade my Hilton Surpass, who I think the Hilton Surpass is still going to work best for, and my plan to potentially add the Hilton Surpass again in the future. Real quick, if you aren't currently subscribed to my channel and you do enjoy videos just like this one, then do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button, because it's a free and easy way to help support the channel. Alright, now let's get into all of my honest thoughts on the Hilton Surpass after having this card for over 2 years. Let's start with the good, and the first good thing about the Hilton Surpass is that this card does usually offer a really strong welcome bonus offer. Right now is no exception, because the Hilton Surpass is currently offering an elevated welcome bonus offer of being able to receive 170,000 Hilton Honors Points when you spend $3,000 or more in the first 6 months, which is a huge plus on the Hilton Surpass, and that the welcome bonus is going to allow you to accumulate a significant amount of Hilton Honors Points, which ended up being a huge factor in allowing me to redeem 320,000 Hilton Honors Points for 5 nights at the Playa del Carmen all-inclusive resort during my honeymoon. Speaking on that honeymoon experience that we were able to have, the Hilton Surpass actually played a pretty major role in that, because another factor with the Hilton Surpass, which I guess could be seen as a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at it, is that this year I did have some increased spending due to the additional wedding expenses leading up to our July wedding. And so in order to take advantage of that increased spending, I spent $15,000 on my Hilton Surpass card in order to earn a Hilton free night certificate. The positive to that is that Hilton free night certificates are really valuable since they are completely uncapped, so you can use them to stay at some really high-end Hilton properties. And I was able to use that Hilton free night certificate that I earned from that $15,000 in spending to stay at the Waldorf Astoria Cancun during our honeymoon, which was by far the nicest hotel that I've ever stayed at. The downside to that Hilton free night certificate that you were able to earn on the Hilton Surpass is that you do need to spend $15,000 on the card in 1 calendar year to even be able to earn that free night certificate. In most cases and in most years, I'm not going to have that much increased spending, which will basically mean that I'll just not be able to earn a free night certificate most years. Unfortunately, this is a pretty big downside with the Hilton Surpass, because with a lot of other mid-tier hotel credit cards, so like the Chase World of Hyatt or Marriott Bonvoy Boundless, you are able to earn a free night award every year just for having the cards, so you don't have to put any spend on the card to actually receive that, which just makes those cards have an easier path to getting guaranteed value, which can help offset the annual fee every year. Additionally, another major thing that I need to talk about after having the Hilton Surpass card for over 2 years is the value that I've gotten from getting automatic Hilton Gold status. I know for a lot of people, Hilton Gold status doesn't really matter that much when you consider the saturation for how many people at least have Hilton Gold status, and a lot of people having Hilton Diamond status. But from my experience, Hilton Gold status can still give you a lot of value, especially when you travel internationally. As an example, if we go back to the Waldorf Astoria Cancun that I was able to stay at using my free night certificate during my honeymoon, my Hilton Gold status got us upgraded to a nicer room that was a swim-up suite with their own private pool, which, like I said, was the nicest room that I've ever stayed at. Additionally, my Hilton Gold status got us free breakfast at that Waldorf Astoria, which was one of the nicest meals that I've ever had. And I saw the receipt before that meal got canceled out because we get free breakfast with Hilton Gold status. And if we didn't have gold status, that meal would have cost us over $100. So with the combination of the room upgrade and the free breakfast, that 1 night alone at the Waldorf Astoria Cancun would have meant that our Hilton Gold status easily got us more value than the annual fee. Additionally, even for some shorter stays, so like when I went down to Austin, Texas to film the Creator Conversations episode with Spencer Johnson, or for some other shorter weekend stays that I've had over the past 2 years, such as in Portland, Oregon, or staying at a Hilton hotel by the airport the night before I travel, I've been able to get a meal at the hotel, grab coffee in the morning, or overall just find a way to maximize the $15 food and beverage credit that I also get on my Hilton Gold status for all US property stays. If I had to sum up my honest thoughts on the Hilton Surpass after having this card for over 2 years, I would say that there's a lot of high upside with this card when you consider the opportunity to capitalize on a high welcome bonus and potentially get a lot of value from that free night certificate or automatic Hilton Gold status. However, as I mentioned, one downside with the Hilton Surpass is that you will need to spend $15,000 in 1 calendar year to get that free night certificate, and how much value that you get from a Hilton Gold status is going to be pretty subjective on a case-by-case basis. However, the Hilton Surpass did just have some major changes that were made to the card, which included the annual fee being increased to $150, the removal of Priority Pass, and the addition of a $200 Hilton credit. I'm overall relatively indifferent to those changes, but the Hilton Surpass card just no longer works for me. And so I'm going to tell you exactly why I decided that I needed to downgrade it. First of all, even though I'm somewhat indifferent to the changes that were made to the Hilton Surpass card, the increased annual fee and the addition of that $200 Hilton credit are just not going to work for my travel plans this next year in 2024 and probably not in 2025 as well. Basically, I'm going to be using Hilton Points and Marriott Free Night Awards for my trip to Panama and Colombia this January. So I'm not going to be using any cash for any of my hotel stays. And then myself and my wife Lucia are going to be joining my family in Kauai in June. And my parents were gracious enough to let us stay with them and my other siblings in their Airbnb. So I won't be needing to pay any cash for any hotel stay for that trip as well. I'm hoping to go back to Mexico next year in December as well. Most likely either back to Mexico City or to Oaxaca during some days off that I get during that time for work. But beyond that, I still do work a corporate job as my day job. So even though I would love to travel way more often, I do have a limited amount of days off that I'm able to get. And I do have a pretty large stockpile of Hilton Honors Points to the point to where any travel that I have in 2024 or 2025, I'll be able to use those points and I won't need to pay any cash for any of those hotel stays because I'm simply not able to travel enough to burn through points at a quicker rate than I'm able to earn them at. And even if I have some one-off hotel stays, like going out of town for a wedding or something like that, I would still much rather put my Hilton points to use for that purpose as well. So with that said, I'm definitely not going to be able to maximize the $200 Hilton credit that was added to the Hilton Surpass, especially since that $200 Hilton credit is going to be broken up into 4 $50 quarterly increments. And a Hilton stay is definitely going to cost a lot more than that. This means that even though I don't necessarily think that the changes that were made to the Hilton Surpass are a bad thing for everyone, those changes are just not going to work for my travel preferences over the next year or two because I'm not going to be able to maximize that new $200 Hilton credit. So I'm basically paying for an annual fee increase and the removal of Priority Pass without getting any added value to my own travel situation. The second reason that I decided to downgrade my Hilton Surpass is because I already have the Hilton Honors Business. The Hilton Honors Business I would consider to be a mid-tier Hilton credit card that has an annual fee of $95. And the Hilton Honors Business has a lot of crossover with the Hilton Surpass, since you'll also automatically get Hilton Gold status and the ability to earn a free night certificate if you're able to spend $15,000 or more in 1 calendar year. So since both of these cards have so much crossover and they both have annual fees, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to have both of them long term. With that said, especially since I'm not in a position to be able to maximize that $200 Hilton credit on the Hilton Surpass card, it made more sense for me to downgrade the Hilton Surpass and keep open the Hilton Honors Business, since the Hilton Honors Business has a lower annual fee and gives me a benefit like Priority Pass airport lounge access. However, I still do think that the Hilton Surpass is a really valuable card that can actually work really well, just depending on what your own situation looks like. So first of all, if you're someone who travels a lot and maybe you have a lot of one-off, one-night hotel stays or weekend stays or work trips, and so you think that that $200 Hilton credit, despite it being split up into 4 $50 quarterly increments, is going to be something that you can maximize or at least get significant value from, then that $200 Hilton credit is going to go a long way in terms of cutting down that $150 annual fee. Additionally, the value that each individual person gets from having automatic Hilton Gold status is somewhat subjective. So if you are someone who stays at Hilton properties and you're someone who thinks they can get significant value from having Hilton Gold status, then the Hilton Surpass could be a great fit for you as well. So even though I did ultimately decide to downgrade my Hilton Surpass, I did say at the start of this video that I do have a plan to potentially add this card again in the future. And a huge reason for that is because there is an opportunity to get an upgrade offer by upgrading my no annual fee Hilton Honors card to the Hilton Surpass card. And the upgrade offers that have been seen in the past are actually really high and can potentially get you upwards of 100,000 Hilton Honors Points. Additionally, over the next year or two, I'm just not in a position, based on still having my full-time corporate job, to be able to maximize that Hilton credit on the Hilton Surpass card, since I do have a limited amount of days off and I already have a significant amount of Hilton Honors Points, and I still do need a lot to happen for this to actually be a potential reality. But I would absolutely love to go full-time on YouTube sometime in the future. And if I was able to do that, then I do think I could maximize that $200 Hilton credit, since I would just be able to travel way more often, since I would have a lot more flexibility. But in conclusion, I did just downgrade my Hilton Surpass, and I'll be playing it by ear if I decide to upgrade back to the Surpass in the future, and exactly when that'll be. But if you do want to learn how to maximize Hilton Honors Points to get the best possible value, then go watch this video next. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Peace.